It's time for another episode of the Daily Blogcast for Internet Marketing, where every day we find all the best industry blog posts and turn them into something you can listen to, because you can't read. Now, here are your hosts, Mark and Bryan.
Hey, welcome to episode number 65.
Beer Friday.
Beer Friday.
Open them if you got them. Drink them if you got them.
All right, I'm going to take a drink. Whoa, that was difficult. I had to tilt my head sideways to try to drink over the mic, and I sucked in a bunch of air and foam.
That's awesome.
That was great. Now I'm just going to choke.
You're a professional.
I haven't mastered that. Hey, when are we going to get those little flags for our microphones that go on our stands that say, like, they call them mic flags or something like that? Or,
like that shows the branding, like
yeah,
CBS or ABC or NBC Olympics.
Yeah. For when the cameras come in here, the news.
Oh, yeah, we got to get on that.
Yeah.
I don't know. We got to make them.
Okay.
You should start a Kickstarter campaign for that.
Yeah, we need flags.
Mic flags.
And put like, we're trying to raise like $100.
12. We're trying to raise $12 to make these out of.
That would be awesome. We should do a Kickstarter.
Cardboard.
That's a great idea. We'll probably get a huge audience from that. They'd be like, really? They're only trying to raise $100?
Would anybody care? Is there a limit or anything?
I don't think there is a limit.
Hmm.
That's a good idea, actually, for a marketing angle. I'm going to try it. Anyhow, so I have some interesting news. Have you heard everyone whining about their look back videos from Facebook?
No.
You know, I guess, depends how many photos or your posts get liked the most. That's how they determine what's going to be put into your video and stuff.
Right.
And so I'm sure a lot of people have some embarrassing things that they don't want to remember over the past 10 years. And currently there's not a way to edit it, but I just read that. It was like all over the internet today. Like, Facebook announces that you'll soon have the ability to edit your look back video.
After everybody got all pissed about what's in there?
Yeah, they're like, oh, that's shocking. I didn't want to see that again.
Yeah.
So that's kind of funny. But anyhow, I have a little news article from Search Engine Roundtable. Barry Schwartz. This is the daily Google update. And Google is giving some business owners 3 weeks to save their Google Place listing. And the emails are titled, Action Required. You have 3 weeks to save your Google Places listing. And they just wanted to confirm that it was actually coming from Google, that people weren't like phishing or something like that. And I guess Jade Wing over at Google explained that they're making some changes in Google Places and Business and Google Maps. Google Places for Business and Google Maps. And because of these changes, they're asking business owners to review and confirm some of the information in their Google Places accounts. And I have a number of local Google Places accounts. I haven't received any of these notifications. None of my clients have.
They deleted all of yours a long time ago.
Yeah.
They don't even notify you.
They're like, hey, that's a UPS store. You can't put a Google Places on a PO box. So, but if you do get this, if you don't get the email, Jade still suggested that you should log into your Places for Business, take a look at your business information, make any updates if necessary, and click submit. You'll need to do this for all the listings in your account by February 21st so they could stay in Google Maps. Otherwise, you'll need to add your business information and undergo the PIN verification to use Google Places again. So that would be a huge pain in the butt for all of my clients.
Right.
That's even me asking them to do that, say, go to your Google Places account. Yeah, I know.
They'll say, okay, and then they'll lose it.
Yeah, then they'll lose it, and then they'll have to pay me to set it all up again. That's not bad.
No, I was about to say, it sounds like you just got a windfall of money.
So I'll just try. I'll say, if you need to do this now by the 21st, and if you don't, contact me in the future if you need help with this.
Sure.
And then I'll charge them.
Or just say, contact me when you don't do it.
Yeah.
And pay me later.
And the listing disappears. All right, So
I've got a really quick news post here from marketingland.com. Yahoo strikes a deal with Mocean Mobile to form new premium mobile marketplace.
Awesome.
So it says in an ad coup for Yahoo, its new ad exchange launched at CES will now power the new Mocean mobile marketplace. The nearly 5-year-old mobile ad serving platform Mocean Mobile will gain RTB capabilities, and Yahoo gets access to Mocean's deep mobile ad inventory.
Wow.
So it says Yahoo announced the deal saying we're combining Mocean Mobile's premium mobile inventory with our real-time programmatic buying and precise targeting abilities. Mocean Mobile brings top-tier publishers to the Yahoo Ad Exchange, from Nokia to Univision, reaching more than 1 billion mobile devices.
Wow, so that's a whole new reason to start using Yahoo.
Yeah, exactly.
Yahoo!
So I haven't checked out their new thing. I mean, I didn't even know it was out.
Yeah, me neither.
So wonder how that's going to go.
Yeah, no, I guess they're trying to reposition themselves. I mean, don't they have a new CEO over there or something too? I think they have a new CEO.
I remember seeing news like maybe 3 months ago where they made everybody stop working from home.
Yeah.
That might have been a year ago.
Yeah,
actually,
that was a while ago.
Okay. I'm in a time warp.
That was the previous CEO. I think there's even a new one.
A newer one. Oh, I see.
Yeah, I think that was some lady came in and said, nope, no more telecommuting. You have to go back to work. And
yeah.
People are like, oh, wah. I said, actually, they're more productive at work.
Yeah, I think so too, on some level.
Yeah. Okay, so I also, while I was doing my research for blog articles today, I came across a really cool tool, and it's called Open Link Profiler, and you could go to openlinkprofiler.org, and it totally does a backlink check for you. So that's pretty cool, for free, because for the longest time, you've had to pay for backlink data.
Yeah.
So I don't know how exactly they're doing it, but pretty cool. Pretty cool tool. I checked them out for the daily blogcast.
Yeah.
And I found a bunch of links to us. So
yeah.
At least we're getting a lot of really good quality links.
Good.
And most of them are like blog comments and
sure,
people responding that they were mentioned on our podcast or whatever. So it's really cool. I was like, all right, that's a great tool.
So we're rich yet?
No.
Okay.
I was trying to think of what we're rich with, but I couldn't even think of that.
Hugs.
Tears.
We're rich in hugs.
And I have another short little news post for anyone that cares about LinkedIn. And it's for LinkedIn releases their fourth quarter 2013 earnings, $447 million in revenue. And the revenue was up approximately 47% compared to the last quarter of 2012. And the revenue from marketing solutions products totaled $113 million, which was a 36% increase. Not going to give you all the numbers. I just wanted to share that LinkedIn is on the way up again.
Thanks for sharing. So I have the first post. Do you have any more newsy stuff? News?
Tiny bit. One little thing. Do you want to hear the last one?
Sure.
Okay.
Do it.
And the reason I brought this up is because there's been so much talk lately about how teens are leaving Facebook. And there's a huge study done by the Pew Research Center. And they said 73% of U.S. teens are on Facebook. Which is, that's huge. I mean, they said that they're leaving in masses. And so these are internet users between the age of 12 and 17. 73% of them.
Isn't it, though, that they were saying that they're using it less, not necessarily that they're leaving? I think they did like a survey, and they said that a lot of them thought it was uncool and they weren't using it as much.
Yeah, I guess.
A lot of them still have their accounts.
Yeah, I wonder if this says... Yeah, it doesn't say anything about active users.
Yeah, I think it meant like activity level.
Yeah.
I could be wrong, though.
No, I agree.
But
I
usually
think it was
I'm not
activity level. Yeah.
I'm just saying.
And then it had some more research from the more results from their research. It said a lot of people don't like it because of oversharing by friends and people posting one's personal information, such as photos.
Oh my God, that's so horrible.
Yep. Parents posting pictures of other parents' kids without permission, which was huge.
Yeah.
Like people really hate that. But they said that 57% of U.S. adults are on Facebook. 64% of Facebook users visit the social network on a daily basis, up from 51% in 2010. Let's see, 44% of Facebook users like content posted by their friends at least once daily. 29% do it a few times a day. 31% comment on photos daily. And then it had a little breakdown on reasons for Facebook use for men versus women, and women are more likely to use it for these reasons. And that's for like seeing photos or videos, sharing with many people at once, seeing entertaining or funny posts, learning about ways to help others, and receiving support from people in their network. And then both men and women equally liked to use Facebook to just receive updates or comments, keep up with the news and current events. And that's about it. So that's it. I'm done with my news.
So this is from marketingland.com. The title of this post is How to Market on Pinterest and Instagram, even if you don't have a branded account.
All right.
And I just closed it right as I was reading it, believe it or not.
Really?
Yeah.
Click, close.
That's ridiculous. I can't believe I did that.
Yep. That's why I use old-fashioned paper. You hear this? Paper.
Yeah.
And highlighters. Cryptographs. Can you find it?
Yep. Okay, here we go. How to market on Pinterest and Instagram, even if you don't have a branded account.
Take two.
As a marketer, you're tasked with the slippery job of putting together content strategies in an environment that's constantly changing, thanks to social media's seemingly infinite capacity for rolling out new channels and products. Who could blame you for focusing on the one or two networks where your brand already has presence?
I could.
No.
Oh.
So she writes, companies that don't yet have profiles on Pinterest or Instagram tend to overlook these platforms when it comes to planning their marketing campaign. After all, most social programs are designed with the goal of creating new fans and followers. On the surface, it doesn't seem to make too much sense to invest the time and money in a network where there's no official account to promote.
Yeah.
The truth is, though, increasing a brand's fan base via social media is just one benefit of many. Pinterest and Instagram are ideal for visual brands related to food, beauty, lifestyle, media, and fashion, but both networks are still in their infancy in terms of being embraced by marketers. Those that aren't expanding beyond the reach of Facebook and Twitter are missing out on some amazing opportunities. So she put some data in here. It's becoming clear that Pinterest and Instagram are incredibly effective for reaching women. 84% of Pinterest users are women.
Wow. I'm going there.
And younger audiences, over 90% of Instagram users are under 35. So Pinterest is now used by more than 1 in 5 U.S. adults. From September 2012 to September 2013, Pinterest drove more referral traffic to publishers than Twitter, Reddit, and LinkedIn combined.
Oh, man, and I'm still not using it. I'm going to beat
crazy,
myself. Right? Yeah.
The average Pinterest user has a household income of over $100,000.
Wow.
And she put some more data in here about Instagram. Instagram's user base is largely made up of young urban demographics with a significant skew towards women. So anyway, so she says conversion rates for Pinterest traffic have been reported as much as 50% higher than conversion rates from other traffic sources, which is crazy. Huh. And Pinterest is the clear winner as compared to Facebook and Twitter in introducing customers to retailers. Instead of simply reinforcing brand loyalty, this is a social network that's leading the pack in terms of first touch marketing. Huh. So that's actually pretty significant when you think about it. Like a lot of people that go to like Facebook or a Twitter account already know about the brand, right? They go and find the page after they've found the site or know about the brand. And she's saying here, this is where they discover it.
Yeah, I can totally see that.
Yeah, browsing pictures of stuff.
Yeah.
So she outlines 3 tactics for results besides increasing followers, 3 things you can think about or use. So the first one is recipes. And she mentions the Pinterest board for Kikkoman. It's that, that soy sauce stuff. She says they featured original recipes created by Latina bloggers using Kikkoman products and generated hundreds of followers who in turn repinned branded content.
Wow.
So makes sense, right? They get in your little zone of like recipes and then they start clicking and repinning other stuff that you want them to. Another thing is printables. And I didn't even know about this. Printables have become wildly popular on Pinterest, and the benefit for marketers is clear. Create value with a free graphic product, and your logo and a brand message will spread organically. Almost anything can be turned into a printable. Party signs, supplies for a food brand, family crafts for a parenting-focused service, makeup how-tos for a beauty product. The sky's the limit.
Recipes. Yeah,
that's awesome. They already said recipes, but printables. We need some printables for the daily blogcast.
Yeah.
And you need some printables for your praisers.
Yeah.
They can like print stuff out. Hashtags on Instagram and Pinterest give followers an easy way to participate in brands' activities. Use a hashtag to promote a new product or service. And you not only extend the reach of your owned content, you create an opportunity to begin crowdsourcing user-generated content. So in particular, the Instagram community relies on hashtags not only to discover new content, but to share it as well.
Huh.
So
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So the final thing is, she said, the bottom line, in today's world, it's not always enough to focus on one social media platform, with Pinterest rapidly becoming the go-to choice for moms sharing content, and Instagram continuing to gain traction among younger demographics. Marketers can't afford to ignore the rich possibilities. So I thought that was interesting, besides the numbers, but that Printables thing is pretty cool. I think a lot of people can use that. Like if you don't have stuff that's visual, like recipes or whatever, you know what I mean? Like, I think Printables is pretty cool. You can come up with a thing that, like whether it's like a form or a checklist or
wouldn't that be
poster or
well,
something.
I guess it couldn't be like an infographic, because people always make infographics like super crazy long. So that's not really a printable.
I mean, I think it could be like, I've seen those infographics, at least in our industry. Like there's been a few of them where they show like the ad ecosystem, right?
Yeah.
And they'll show like where the publisher, where you can buy traffic, what exchanges they go through, blah, 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 the different ways you can buy paid traffic. So I've seen stuff like that, and stuff like that's actually helpful.
Yeah.
Like I've had that stuff bookmarked or saved in a Dropbox folder, and I refer to it every once in a while when I'm trying to remember what was that network or whatever I was looking at. So I think something like that. I mean, if you make something that's a printable like that, I don't know.
That's cool. That's so much traffic. You can't ignore it anymore. I have to get in there. We have to make a Pinterest. I mean, do they still have pages, like business pages on Pinterest?
They have like boards. They're all shut up on boards. So the board is like a cork board, a pin board. You pin images and articles and whatever.
Yeah.
So,
okay.
But I mean, it's like one of those things, like if you get found there, then you could funnel traffic, kind of like with this article saying.
Yeah.
And I'm sure the search results they're showing up a lot in there as well.
Yeah.
But just the sheer volume of people on there,
I know,
is like
crazy.
ridiculous. Yeah.
We got to start how to start a podcast product. Okay. We got to make one of those products, because I think that would be good everywhere.
I will get right on it.
Even housewives want that type of stuff.
They want to start podcasts?
Yeah. Or like a podcast just about doing makeup or nails, or it doesn't have to be visual.
And you are going to head this podcast up?
No. I will sell them the information on how to start a podcast and market it so you could at least reach 12 people every day.
I see what you mean. Okay.
All right. So I have this article from Search Engine Journal, and it's from Bernadette Coleman, The 5 W's for Great Content Marketers. And of course, the 5 W's pertain to who, what, where, when, and why.
I was going to say World Wide Web. There's 3.
Nope. So I guess when she's been blogging for a little while now, and she's been doing research and reading a lot about journalism and stuff. And so she came across students that are taught to write news stories in a format related to the 5 W's. And so she broke down each of the W's. So who, is all about your target audience. You want to know their interests, and reading her article, it kind of was like she was, remember when we were talking about John Lee Dumas and defining your avatar?
Yes.
That's pretty much what she's talking about in the who. Like, not just, besides all the demographic information, you want to get psychographic information, and it goes beyond age, gender, race, and other bare bones stats about the audience. It includes the gold standard of audience intelligence, their interests. And so you could really drill those down to figure out who is your audience, and really develop your content for them.
Right.
And then what, and it's not about what you want to say, it's more about what your audience is able to hear. And the difference with that is that people go online for many reasons, and they don't always know exactly what they want to read or watch or listen to. So you have to kind of help them with the transition from something being familiar to bringing them to something new. another important thing she learned early on is that great content marketers monitor the content their audience consumes and then develops content that provides a deeper understanding of that topic. So you could look for different ways to present the same information to those people, and then where you would want to deliver the information to. Smart content marketers choose media that their target audience is already using. It's far easier to get someone's attention on a site that they already enjoy than it is to motivate a person to visit a new site. So what she likes to do, I mean, we go out and look on different news aggregates and things like that. A lot of people favor places like Huffington Post or Yahoo to get their news.
Yeah.
And she wrote this article as a guest post for a search engine journal, and she likes that content. So instead of just posting that content to her own blog, she reached out to them to do a guest post because that's where her target audience is.
They're not looking at her site. She's putting it in front of this giant audience that already reads.
Exactly.
Okay.
And that's how you gain followers. You know, you definitely want to write great content for your own site, but by going to where your audience is and then bringing them into your own, I mean, that's really a great way to do it. And let's see. So it's important to build an audience for your own site by presenting great content. You also want to post it or links to it on mega sites that your audience already uses, like Tumblr or else. Like you could even do blog posts at a New York Times, Wall Street Journal. There's a bunch of blogs. And when would you want to do it? And she puts, timing is everything. Once you know where your target audience is found, whether on Twitter or Facebook, there's plenty of recommendations of the best time to post to them and to reach them. And when I was researching this article, I was like, how can you determine when is the best time? Like I've read blog posts in the past about different times to post to Twitter, different times to post to Facebook. And, you know, it gives a pretty good idea, but I found this app is called Buffer App, and it's bufferapp.com. And you can log in under your Twitter account or your Facebook account, and it will actually tell you like when your audience or your friends are the most active there. So it will totally tell you like, if you want to reach your audience, you should be posting at this times. This is when they're the most active on those social profiles. So I thought that was pretty cool. And then why? And it says, it may be obvious that you are creating content to get more customers for your business, but is that truly useful? The why is really about measurement. If you're going to measure your progress, first you must create clear connections between your content marketing tactics and your results. Be sure that each piece of content includes a special offer, a unique URL or hashtag, or some way to identify it. So, I mean, you really need to not just throw everything out there. You have to be able to track your results. So that's pretty much what she's saying there.
Right.
So that's pretty much it. Hope I didn't destroy it too much, but I liked it. Kind of a different idea on the standard content marketing blogs that I read all the time.
Sure.
Different perspective, more from a journalism point of view. So that was cool.
That is cool.
Thanks, Bernadette. So do you have anything else?
I have some stuff. How much time do we have? We don't have a lot, right?
No, we only have like 5 minutes.
Oh. Do you have other stuff?
No, I'm fresh out.
All right. Then I'll talk about this. So this is from tracking202.com. This is from our friend Nana. How to make your landing pages load 3 to 5 times faster.
All right.
So we're going to learn some technical stuff before we finish.
Super cash.
Yeah. Before you go out and forget everything after drinking a happy hour.
Yeah.
So,
speaking of drinking,
I know.
Another sip.
So one of the major causes of click loss is speed, or rather the lack of it. I've written many times about some of the ways to speed up your redirects and landing pages. So today I'd like to focus on 3 things I recently implemented on the Prosper 202 homepage that resulted in 3 to 5 times speed up of the page load. And if you don't know what Prosper 202 is, it's a really popular tracking system for affiliate marketers. And if you're doing any marketing, you should use it.
Oh yeah, that's why I keep on getting mixed up. Prosper 202 is the hosted one.
No,
I always miss.
I should work at this company. So Tracking 202 is the company.
Okay.
And they made like a self-hosted package called Prosper 202.
Is that still available?
Yeah, and inside Prosper 202 is the self-hosted version of Tracking 202.
Oh, okay.
Does that make sense? It's kind of convoluted and not like the best way to make it clear to people, but everybody just sort of calls the self-hosted thing Prosper.
Oh, okay.
Or Prosper 202, even though technically it's tracking 202, but the self-hosted version. Does that make sense?
Totally.
It probably doesn't. But anyway, just call it Prosper 202. Anyway, so getting back to this, now that you've burned through our 6 minutes.
Oh.
So he's talking about making stuff load faster. He said, a few days ago, I was thinking of all the cool things I could do to increase the conversion rate of the Prosper 202 page when I realized I hadn't taken my own advice. The Prosper 202 homepage was taking between 3.8 to 4 seconds to fully load. Wow, that's pretty long.
Wow.
Here's exactly what I did to whip the site into shape. So he says, before you begin, he recommends using the Chrome Safari Developer Tools view, and that's built into the Chrome browser. I personally like the one in Firefox, and I like using the Firebug plugin.
Yeah,
but that's just me.
Yeah.
Anyway, anyway, so he says the first thing you need to do is eliminate stuff. The easiest thing to do when speeding up your pages is to remove unnecessary content and elements from your page. These could be widgets, images, etc. He said, for me, one of the slower widgets on the page was the Facebook like button. I removed this and immediately saw a boost in load times.
Wow.
Third-party widgets can often slow down your page if they are not optimized. So the next thing he says is compress. You can reduce CSS and JavaScript files by 20 to 50% by compressing them. And he recommends a couple of online tools, csscompressor.com and javascriptcompressor.com. He said they usually work by deleting any unnecessary white space, and sometimes they shorten long description variable names into cryptic single or double digit letters, which probably half of you didn't understand, but it basically shrinks it all down.
Yeah.
So the code that they produce isn't really readable and easy to, read as from a human.
But it works exactly the same.
Exactly. And the browser doesn't care. It just downloads it faster.
Yeah.
The other thing he says is upload to a CDN. In general, files on web servers that are located closest to you will download faster. And that's the general idea behind a CDN, or a content delivery network. So, for example, users in Europe will have files served to them from European servers, while those in the US would get files from US locations. He says, for my optimization, I uploaded all the newly compressed CSS files to the CDN. Additionally, I also uploaded my images. And remember how I mentioned the third-party widgets? He also uploaded those to the CDN.
Huh.
So he said there's one thing to be careful when using this technique, is that when you have to keep an eye on the original JavaScript from the provider. So normally when you embed a widget, it's pulling that JavaScript from like Facebook or somewhere.
Right.
Right. So you have to wait. You have to hope that Facebook is responding fast enough. And obviously it's getting like billions of impressions or clicks an hour.
Or if they're down or being hacked or
whatever.
Right.
So he took that JavaScript and stuck it on a CDN.
Okay.
Which makes it super fast.
Yeah.
But the problem, what he's saying is if they change that code at some point, you have to be aware of it.
Yeah.
So that part kind of sucks, but that's a pretty good tip. I never thought about doing that. So he said the final results after doing all of these things was a huge difference in page load speeds. When everything is cached in the page, it can load in under 700 milliseconds.
Wow.
And on average, when stuff isn't cached, like if you're a first-time visitor, it will load between 1 and 1.7 seconds. So he improved this by, I don't know, I can't do the percentage, but 3
billion.
times. Like he improved it by 3 times. No, a billion is wrong. I know that much. A billion is wrong. So the last thing he says here is that he has a subscription, a discount for Mac CDN. And I've never used Mac CDN. I've used Amazon. I forgot what's that called. What's it? Their cloud thing?
Oh, I can't remember.
Whatever. It's cloud something on Amazon, and you can use their CDN, and it's pretty cheap. I haven't used Mac CDN, but I don't know what it costs, but he's got a special here. It's a subscription for life. 25% off your Mac CDN subscription for life. Which is pretty good, because he said in here that normally the coupons are 20% off all around the internet, but they only knock it off your first month.
Yeah.
He called and probably twisted their arms.
Do you know, is it comparable to virtual hosting? I mean, is it around, like if I got a domain name and I wanted to get a server, instead of just like getting a standard server with HostGator or, a virtual server or dedicated server or something, I could get the CDN, point the domain name to the CDN?
No,
or am I just placing files there?
Files. Okay. So the deal is CDNs are kind of dumb file servers.
Okay.
And they just make copies of all your files. So if you upload it to Mac CDN, and then you can tell it, okay, I want this to be mirrored everywhere. Right?
Oh, okay.
So the people that come to your site, they go to your domain wherever that's hosted. Let's say it's hosted in Texas or somewhere.
Yeah.
They get your main file, and then everything else though is linked to the CDN.
Okay.
So the people from Asia get all of your images from a server located in Asia.
Right. They just by the IP, they go like, oh, this is coming from Asia.
Yeah, they do all that for you. It's all transparent. But
sense.
that's what this is. It's like kind of distributing your stuff all around the globe so it goes faster. So CDNs are kind of dumb. They don't like interpret like PHP or stuff like that. They can't really think, and there's no database or anything. They're just serving files.
So that couldn't be super expensive though.
No, I don't think it's very much.
Yeah.
And I mean, it scales, right? It's like if you're doing like a giant amount of traffic, then it costs you more.
Right.
But I mean, on my blog, I don't even think I do it anymore. I had Amazon, and it was like nothing. It was like $1 or something stupid like a month, because I don't have many images, and I just threw CSS files, and so. Yeah,
that makes sense. I mean, that's a really good idea, because what I was thinking is tons of people are going for these virtual servers.
Yeah.
And half the time they're slow. They're just horrible.
Yeah.
And I mean, so you could still use a virtual server, but anything that's big, or it's even images, or even what he's talking about, you could send it over to a CDN and speed up even a virtual server.
Yeah, you can speed up pretty much anything with this.
Yeah.
So,
cool.
I mean, no matter what, you're going to have the biggest gains from people that are far away.
Yeah.
So if you have like a really fast dedicated server that's not doing anything because you don't have like a lot of traffic or whatever.
Yeah.
And people are located in the US, you're not going to probably notice any big giant change using a CDN. But if you have people that are overseas, they could notice that, plus the more traffic and stuff. So it's just about user experience and making stuff snappier. And you reduce load on your server, obviously, because it's only serving the HTML. It's not all the other stuff is offloaded to these other guys that you're paying.
Yeah.
Right.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's cool. So go check out that coupon if you want. It's going to be on the episode 65 dailyblogcast.net, and we're going to link to the post I just read from Tracking 202.
All right, guys. Well, that's another episode of the Daily Blogcast. Have a beer with us, and we'll see you on Monday.
See ya.
You've been listening to the Daily Blogcast for Internet Marketing.
Visit our site, dailyblogcast.net, where you can find show notes and links to all of the blogs mentioned in this episode.
While you're there, make sure to sign up to our free newsletter so you're notified of new episodes and get a bunch of goodies delivered directly to your inbox.
Don't forget, we need your support, so do us a favor and log into iTunes and leave a rating and a review. It only takes a minute, and they'll really help us out. See you tomorrow.
See ya!